Part 1. Why Listening Matters. There are, in this world, people who seem to be ordinary, but who turn out to be extraordinary. They give their total attention. They listen and listen and listen without interrupting. They do not preach. They have nothing to sell. We call them Samaritans. Chad Vara, founder of Samaritans. Chapter 1. Why Listening is Important. Pause for a moment and try to remember the last time you had a really good conversation with someone. It might have been at work, at home, or in the pub. It could have been with a friend, colleague, or family member. It might even have been with your local coffee barista or delivery driver. But what was it that made that conversation so memorable? Did the person give you their undivided attention? Did they look directly at you, make eye contact, and make you feel seen? Did they let you speak without interruption, not cutting in to offer advice, but rather allowing you the freedom to express whatever it was you wanted to say, really making you feel heard? Now think about another conversation you've had recently where you didn't feel so listened to. Perhaps you got the feeling that the person you were talking to was just waiting for you to finish speaking so that they could give you an opinion on what you just said, offer some advice, or tell you about a time when something like that had happened to them. Conversations like this can feel as though they are made up of two people jostling for airspace, each person listening for just long enough until it's their turn to speak. Most of the time, conversing is a two-way street, with a lot of give and take, so it doesn't always come naturally to us to enter a conversation with the intention of listening rather than replying. On top of this, life is full of busy distractions. It can often be difficult to feel heard. But this is why it's so important to find the right time and place for listening and having a good, meaningful conversation. At times, we all need to get something off our chests and have those long, winding conversations that end up somewhere unexpected. It might be that we need a good vent, or simply a chat to relieve boredom, lift the spirits, and take our minds off the day we've had. But sometimes there could be more going on with someone, and you might feel like it's time to have a deeper and more meaningful conversation, perhaps about a potentially sensitive or challenging topic. And you might worry that it won't be easy, either for you or for them. Listening can remind someone you care. Often, when talking to someone about their day-to-day stresses and strains, just saying, "Are you okay?" can be enough to remind someone that you care. Those 3 little words can make a really big difference. But if someone you know well is feeling low, suffering emotional pain, going through something that feels overwhelming, complicated and distressing, or has an ongoing mental health issue, then active listening can really help. Active listening is more than just hearing somebody. It involves really concentrating on what the other person is saying and carefully considering the points they are making, without interrupting or offering your own opinion. Lending an ear with empathy and without judgment or advice can be the most effective means of really helping the person you are talking to. Listening to others has an extraordinary ability to make them feel validated, give them back their self-belief, and empower them to change the end of their story. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? And yet this simple act, one that we are all capable of, can make a huge difference to someone's life. For over 65 years now, active listening is a model that has not only worked for Samaritans, but has been described by many as life-saving. We know that helping someone open up and explore their thoughts and feelings can be invaluable. Sometimes it's enough in that moment to simply get everything off their chest. At other times, the conversation can be a catalyst for them to realize they need further help. Communication is necessary for human survival. Talking and being heard is as necessary to humans as breathing, food, and water. Speech is one of our first learned skills, and it's a key part of our interaction with others. Listening as you learn to communicate is a basic necessity. As we grow, we communicate with our parents, then friends and teachers, then colleagues and family members. The primary function of our speech is a need to be heard.